from Global, leading Britain's conversation. It's 6 p.m. Now, Tonight with Andrew Marr.
Good evening to you. How has it happened that the thing which matters most to our future has become the thing we find it hardest to sensibly talk about? Now, I know that for a lot of people, the mere words climate change make them clap their hands to their ears or scream, or both. Let's put to one side all of the ignorant blinker jackasses who simply don't believe the science and claim that the climate change the rest of us see all around us isn't happening, or if it is happening, that it's nothing to do with us. Let's think instead of everyone for whom the immediate problem of paying this winter's bills overwhelms everything else. And alongside these come-off-it people, the others, who are driven half mad by fear and grief about what may be ahead. I've said before, and I say again, I don't think that making people angry is how to win arguments with them. But let's hear the voice of one of those trying to blockade the M25 earlier today, 24-year-old Louise.
How many more people have to say, we don't have a livable future if you continue licensing oil and gas for you to listen? Why does it take young people like me up on a f***ing gantry on the M25 for you to listen?
And police are expecting more disruption on the M25 tomorrow. Hysterical? Yes. Self-righteous? If you say so. But utterly sincere, and Louise speaks for very large numbers of younger Britons who've grown up scared witless about what global warming will mean for them. If hers was the only popular view, then the politicians meeting at COP27 in Egypt right now would hardly have to take any real decisions at all. But there are other voices. All day, people have been calling LBC about climate change and whether the richer countries, like Britain, should be paying poorer countries to help them deal with its consequences. By the way, if we don't do that, we can hardly be surprised if migrants fleeing those overseas disasters and arriving on our shores aren't any longer numbered in the thousands, but in the tens of thousands and the hundreds of thousands, even millions. Here, meanwhile, are three callers who you can imagine as replying to Louise on the M25.
I understand the frustration. I agree with the mission. However, it's just the tactics that are used that is the thing that's annoying, and it's dividing people and feeding into the government's plan in, arresting these people. If you really want to make a difference, and this goes out to Louise if she's listening, and this goes to, Just Stop Oil, protest at Parliament Square. Go to the Houses of Parliament. When you're making the lives of ordinary people a living hell, it divides people.
This net zero carbon is insane. It's insane. When China and India are using the fossil fuels that they're using, not to mention Australia with their coal, constantly the people of Britain get pulled down, have to pay more. The cost of living's kicking in.
I mean, this COP27 jamboree has become, I think, wholly discredited. We're now talking about, I don't know how many hundreds of billions. They're now talking about redistribution from what is deemed to be the wealthy West. We are going up this route of already trillions of costs domestically in terms of electric cars, decarbonising our heating. How on earth we're meant to find more money for abstract problems abroad.
Abstract? Hardly, not if you're there. But sure, what about China? What about the Saudis? What about the rich? There's a real danger that this whole conversation sinks into a swamp of anger and whataboutery. Can our leaders do better than that? Well, right now, Rishi Sunak is in Egypt trying something which may be impossible. He's trying to do deals which would satisfy Louise on her M25 gantry and those callers on their mobiles. But in a democracy, protest, however inflamed, must always end in negotiation. So what do you think when you heard that protester? Text me on 84850 or email marr@lbc.co.uk and I'll read some of your messages out a little bit later.